Well, now or never, I suppose. Should I be in the tall chair or... Well... See, I had planned of this stream not being as long because it's a Friday night and I have somewhere to be tomorrow. But it's also a Friday night, and this is the best time to stream, and this is one of the revenge streams that's gonna be here. And I just got like 2 revenges today on top of the ones I had already scheduled. So it's like, ah! Well, anyway, we're gonna start with the Sprite tea. This is really good. Like, I hope Sprite continues to do this. This is fantastic. And it doesn't taste like, oh, someone poured a Sprite in my Lipton. No, it actually tastes like a carbonated fine brew. There. Anyway. Hi, hello, I'm Rune. And... I tried to get on my night schedule so that the streams would be in the evening to, like, nighttime, just so the heat... Can you lock the fucking... Thank you. So that the heat wouldn't adversely affect my computers as much, and maybe, you know, in the evening, you know, y'all can grab dinner and then join me for stream. And it would be, you know, like a candlelit dinner together. But I tried to switch my schedule on the worst day possible, like in the middle of the week. So next week, I will maybe try to switch to the night schedule. I don't know. See, there's some IRL things going on that require, excuse me, attention. And, I mean, it's something I could do in the evening, but it would be, like, the first thing I do when I wake up. And, I mean, which would be fine, because then I'd be outside doing some work, and I'd start the day, you know, my day with, getting exercise, but then it's strenuous, and it would be at the hottest part of the day, where I'd be outside working, and then come in, and then my shoulder's about to fall off. Like, my forearm is shot just from the one, session we did today. So, hopefully that won't affect my drawing abilities as much, but who knows? Anyway, let's get into this. We got a lot of work to do. I updated the to-do list, so let's... Why does it need to be all the way back there? Like, can't you just be small? There we go. No. 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 There we go. There we go. Alright. Let's boogie, boys! Starting off with a revenge. Probably gonna be a twofer from Lieutenant Burning Bugs. Because they, like the madmen that they are, did a digital painting of one of my characters, a short tail. Digital painting? Damn. Well, now I got to attack twofold. And then... my old art fight nemesis reared their beautiful, crazy head. Galaxy Art is back. So I also have one of their characters here for the attacking. So this nose is the nose... okay, it looks like it sticks up a little bit, so... It looks very... Like, features-wise, this creature, Oscar, looks very... canine-esque. But also looks kind of like a mole bear. I don't know how else to describe it, but I saw the design and when it's like, oh, this is cool. And then when you read the profile, this creature is this guy's nightmares, but they're actually very soft and gentle. It's like, oh. Oh. Like I said, I can't see a big old monster without wanting to give them soft, cute art. While we're on the topic of art fight, I had been thinking about my scheduling. Not like stream scheduling, but like the attacks in general. Because I had figured that I wasn't going to burn myself out, and I was only going to work on the attacks when I was streaming. And then I was going to stream every day, which would be enough of a workload, you know, except tomorrow, of course. It's Saturday and 4th of July. But a part of me kind of wants to go crazy, but then another part of me just wants to take it easy. So I'm in the in-between. Okay, they have blue-green eyes. I love the style, the painting style. It looks like they're on a canvas. I'm not sure what brush this is that Burning Bug uses, but it's very nice. This has also made me realize I need to draw more canines and more bears. I need to draw more bears. That's one blind spot in one of the many blind spots in the animal kingdom that I have. And like my other blind spots I've kind of taken care of with stories. Like I don't draw goats very often, so for my space pirate story I added satyrs, who are like goat-like people. So I was like, okay, good, this will be my excuse to practice drawing goat-ish features and then studying what goats look like. For wolves I have a sort of the nose is wrong, something's up here. It's like more of a sloping. That's what it is. I'm giving them too much of a pronounced snoot instead of a sloped. There we go. Oh, this thing has more of like a splayed paw. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Bears are one of the creatures where I love bears, but I don't have like any art of them. I haven't drawn a bear. I think I can't even remember the last time I've drawn a bear, so it's like I need to either create a story that involves bears or just pick a day and then we can have like concept streams, which I kind of hate doing, but you know, not even a stream. I'll just sit down sit my ass down, and then practice drawing bears. Or any of the Ursa family. I think the only time I've drawn a bear was like for a Has-Been Hotel OC, and she was a sloth bear. But even then, that was sloth bear. Sloth bear asterisk. Oh, they do have a tail. They do have a tail. Good, so that can cover the back paw. Am I gonna draw this dude there? Because it looks like they do snuggle, which is adorable. But then it's like, he's only sort of there. Oh, if I was smart, I could have done a redraw of that Princess Mononoke frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Princess Mononoke, when, it's right before the boars are about to attack, and you see, like, Moro's hyper-realistic eye. Wow. San snuggles into her. I could have done that. If I was smart, I could do that, but I don't have a reference photo for it. Hi, Speckles. Hi, welcome to the stream. Evening stream this time. Happy Friday. I don't know how long the stream is going to be because, you know, I have to be somewhere tomorrow. Oh, it's Saturday where you're at? Well, yeah, I have to be somewhere Saturday. So, I'm not... It looks like a fleur-de-lis. I don't know how late I'm gonna be streaming, but it's 6 o'clock for me now. So, I could, like, get away with drawing for 3 hours and it still not be too late. So, that's where we at. How are you doing? Are you participating in Art Fight this year? I don't remember if you said. Sorry, I got memory of goldfish. And even then, I'm pretty sure a goldfish would remember a little bit more than me. You know, there was that one story of the guy taught the goldfish how to play soccer. You finished 2 revenges. Nice, nice, nice. You know, I was talking earlier about how I'm planning on, like, rethinking my attack strategy. Because, like, every year I've done Art Fight, I've gone hard, and then, like, halfway through the month I burn out. Because I'm doing, like, 3 attacks and revenges a day with streaming every other day. So I thought this year, you know what, I'll take it slow. I'll only work on Art Fight when I'm streaming. And then I'll get, at minimum 30 attacks. Because then if I have to complete an attack per stream, that's still a lot of work done. But I'm also vibrating because I want more attacks. But I want more to do more revenge. I'm sitting there just... Fight me! You're only doing revenges, though. Okay, so, shoot me your Art Fight. This is... Okay, yeah. I should say that, links in Art Fight streams are okay, as long as they're just your profile. So yeah, shoot me your Art Fight so I can go attack you. Because honestly, I did not nearly... Is that a threat? It is a promise. I should bend that ear backward. Because I thought I had made enough thumbnails, man. I was so busy prepping, doing like ref sheets and stuff like that. I completely forgot to save characters. To bookmark characters and save ref sheets. Completely forgot about that. I'm very much behind in that regard, so I'm just, I think their eyes are rounder. I keep drawing very angular eyes. Okay. I'm gonna add all the, schmutz. One time you gotta revenge your friend. Nice. No, that looks... You know, I should have, in character permissions or something, made a list of characters that I wanted to get attacked this year. Because I keep forgetting, like, that I can do that. And, you know, I can alter it at any time I like. So after stream today, I gotta remember to go into my permissions and say, hey, these are the characters I want attacked. Like, I would die if I saw these characters. Like, somebody attack these characters. Die in a good way. Hey, feline, fetch just fine. To thine old self be true. It is nice, you know. It's a struggle bus because I'm not sure like what stream to tune into, but it is nice to see that more people are engaging in art fight, and especially the streaming aspect of art fight, which is like a lot of like half the fun of doing art fight is live streaming, and then someone tunes in and you know it's like, oh my god, that's my character, ah, and then we just engage in the artistic process together. That's what I really like about art fight. But then it's also hell because then I saw a bunch of people that were doing like art fight prep this year, and I'm like, ooh, I'll subscribe so I can tune into their streams. And I'm sitting there like, wait, I'm gonna be streaming. Wait, I just subscribed to 5 people. Wait, we're all streaming at the same time. Ah! Let me out! It's just overstimulated, even though nothing is happening. Ah, good times. Okay, there's a bit of a lag on YouTube, which is fine. I forgot to change the latency. As I am an idiota. To stick or not to stick? That is the question. Another thing I've been dealing with, and this is entirely off stream, but I've just been really thinking about my art style and, you know, how I draw. Specifically, how my line art and rendering has been. Because everything else about the style I'm pretty much happy with, but the everything else I'm sitting there like, okay, something could afford to change. But I'm like not sure what to do. So I've been doing a bunch of studies of other, like, I made a collage of a bunch of art styles that I like and that really tickle my brain. So I was like, okay, if I can study this style and see how they do things, and then maybe I could slowly implement that into my design and like my art style. But then I forget we humans are creatures of habit. I was like, shit, alright, well. Like, the study went well when I was looking at the art, but it was a lot of, mental gymnastics, you know? It was just, I wasn't in my flow state. And it's probably because, you know, new art style, you gotta stick with it for a while. My learning is a conscious and active endeavor, so, you know, I can't get mad at myself for slipping up. The tail is probably a little too long. No, if I do... shading here, and then... No, because... Where do I want the light? I'm trying to figure out lighting. Because if... Excuse you! Did my mouse just die? No, it just froze. Okay. Jesus Christ. Not now! I want this creature, Oscar, to be, like, a shield for this guy. So, is he shielding him this way or this way? Or do I put the, yeah, and do I put the lighting here? To, like, get some nice rim lighting going here, on here? And we can get some really dramatic shadows. And then maybe a little bit of rim lighting over here with, like, the hard shading from here. That, Okay, I'm going to add a few of their sticks because it looks like that's because this one is tripping me up because this looks like a regular dog thing that's cuddling this guy, but everywhere else, bro's got all bits and bobs and all sorts of hell sticking out of them. But I wanted him to look soft, you know, to look like a gentle giant. So I think I'll... See, now I don't want to hurt the poor creature. If not friend, then why friend-shaped? Hey, this would count as like a body. And not from this angle, but from here. There's this. This. This looks like a fence post with a tarp on it. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Proportionally, it'll be like out to there. So I'm fine with it getting out of frame because then the... Ooh! 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 Hold on. If I have like shadows creeping in, this stuff begins to fade. It's like maybe warped in the shading, but the closer we get to... this is what I'm thinking of. Like, here, shadows. Here, lighting. And then the closer we get to the circle, like Fibonacci style, the softer and warmer. Because this is safety. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. I'll have to put that in, like, the, notes for this attack and saying, here's what I was thinking. So that's a cool feature of attacks that I need to utilize a bit more. Instead of just hoping that they get the symbolism that I was going for with an art piece, I'll just put it in the private notes as like, okay, here was my thought process when putting this piece together. And then hopefully they like it. Like a little blood smear there. Just the maybe like a little bit of a bloody tear. And then like just a little bit of things dripping, and this would have to be marked as slight violence. I'm not sure. Now we zoom all the way in just to get this steely gray blue. Okay. Save, and then we continue. I gotta take a shower after stream. Chat, remind me I need a shower. Okay, do I want to try something different with the line art here? So I just should probably like spin, like create a wheel and then spin it. And I'm gonna keep the line art pretty rough, because that seems to be like the art style that this character would be most fitting. I mean, this nightmare creature is supposed to, at least I think, the way I understand them, they're supposed to represent the horrors of war and how it's the innocent that often the ones that end up dead and attacked. I think I might. Okay, I'll draw the line art and then go back and like add a texture to it and like maybe do like a clipping mask with a like a noise layer. Yeah, I might do that. Gonna add just a little bit of floof. And the lips. A lot of animals have fuzzy lips. If I make things just like slightly warbly, because it is kind of like a nightmare slash creature of dream. So if the line art looks and then this guy's line art is straight and crisp, especially out here, the line art can be and yes, that is a descriptive adjective. I think a lot of miscommunications can be avoided, especially in the English language, if people started implementing more sound effects into their lexicon. Basically, I'm saying if people talked more like Gen Z. And then I'll add, like... I gotta add something that kind of, like, spirals inward. So that I can clearly, you know... something that can visually spiral outward. And get more... Oh, I'll duplicate the layer and then get and like expand it so that it's just the outline, and then smudge tool it so it's more whip-a-boo. I am gonna be married to the technique of adding sound effects. Fight me. I feel like I'm making this creature look more old and sad than in the ref sheet, but I think that's like kind of part of it. It adds to the pity aspect of that I think this creature's going for. It's not a monster, because monsters... like, this is a monster we pity, not fear or hate. Because how can you hate something? I'm not sure what metaphor I'm going for here. It's like, how could you hate something that was born out of fear? You know? That sole purpose in existing is to bring comfort. I mean, this is giving, Letters of Thorn. Have you guys seen that game? Holy shit. If you haven't heard of Letters of Thorn, I highly suggest either you play it yourself or the way I engage with video games, watch someone else play it. Especially excuse me, I watched Pezzy play it, and oh my god, that was quite the experience. It was Oh my, oof. I don't want to spoil it in case, you know, in case any of you guys listening to it haven't heard of it. But if you've got like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe, and spare tissues, I highly suggest checking it out. Because it's one of those things where we already know war is worse than hell, but this shows how do you deal, like, it's from the point of view of a veteran, a Vietnam veteran, who is still reeling from not only what he saw during the war, but what happened when he came home. And it's about his life, and we're following his journey, like, around the house. Well, wacky, I don't want to say wacky shenanigans, because that it takes away from the heaviness of the story, but it's not like all it's not all sad, but it's definitely a sad but beautiful story. It does have a beautiful ending. And I remember when watching Pezzy stream it and then watching his video, when the game ended, we all just kind of sat there like, yeah, man, it's, yeah. Yeah. I mean, anytime a game leaves you sitting in, like, completely speechless, but all you can do is just... It's like, what needs to be said? The game already put it so perfectly and beautifully by itself. Ow! Ow! Ow, my eye! Man, I washed my hands and everything. I still got stuff on them from working outside. So if my eyes look red, it's not because I'm sad or crying or anything. It's because I wiped something on them. If this is where the light source is, then it would make sense to have the line art thinnest there. But I think I'm gonna put this guy on a different layer entirely, so I don't have to worry about rendering as, like, separating the rendering. Oh, I need to find a character that I can do a full illustrations for. Because I really like how I did my illustration style. The only problem is, I mentioned this earlier, I'm putting my Path to Brighter Stars comic on Comic Fury. And the problem is the files can't be more than 4,000 kbm or something, whatever it's called. And for the most part, they're like 5 or 6. Sometimes some of them are 3 if they're like less detailed. Like, you know, I'll just shrink them down. It's fine. But when I switched, those are the old pages. When I switched to my like grayscale, highly like very fun illustration style, with we're starting with grayscale and then adding color on top of it. Those files jumped from 5 kbm to 7 to 9. It's like 9,000. How the hell am I gonna condense that? Holy shit. Every future page now that I save, I have to keep that in mind of, you know, what's going on. It's like, god dang it. So that means either I need to make the files physically smaller or stop going so hard. But, you know, like, DeviantArt can handle it, so I'm just, you know, like, do I render 2 separate files? One for DeviantArt, one for Comic Fury? Like, am I gonna have to do that? Or do I have to find a middle ground. Obviously. Oh, right, yeah, yeah. Well, let's not have any tangents. It's funny, I'm thinking about, like, while doing art fight, I'm also thinking about my art style, and in doing that, I kind of want to go back and redraw some illustrations with my new technique and see how different it turns out, but I'm also sitting here like, I'm busy! You have to wait till later! But then, like, I'm always stuck between two or three options, where, like, one part of me wants to, like, get started on retrying my art style immediately while I'm thinking about it, you know, while I have the time to think about it. But then the other part of me is like, yeah, but it's art fight season, so, you know, we gotta do that. But then the other part of me is like, you know, there's no law that says July must be only art fight, so it's just that. I want to do so many things, so little time. I'm only one person. I need to go to bed. Hi, Odd Scout. Or the Odd Fives. My dyslexia kicked me in the teeth with that one. Is Odd Scout okay? Or what do you prefer to be called? I can only see your @ on this chat. Don't worry about it. Okay, well, what can I call you in the meantime? I'm gonna use a different pen. Yeah, I'm gonna use the Schmoove pen. Scout is fine. Okay. Okay. Hi, welcome to the stream. We're working on art fight stuff while streaming about productivity, and you just missed it. I went on a tirade about the game Letters of Thorn. At least right now I'm realizing that might not even be the game's name. But yeah, if you've have you heard of that game, Letters of Thorn? Oh my god, it is so good. Tearjerker, but it's very good. Haven't heard of it? Oh my god. It is a horror game, so if that's not your thing, then I understand. It is horror, but it's like you're playing from the perspective of a Vietnam veteran who's wheelchair bound, and you're trying to move around his house while he's getting ready for moving, while things are happening, and it's like switching back and forth between past and present while finding his letters and, you know, his letters from war and going through his memories and PTSD flashbacks. Oh, it's so good. It's a sad, scary, but also beautiful story about love and redemption, and it's just, oh, it punched me right in the face. As someone who comes from a family of veterans, yeah, that game kicked me in the teeth, but it was like, you know, as traumatic as an experience that was, I highly recommend it. I am looking up on this guy's shirt. So, if you want to, like, check the game out, I think it's on Steam or something if you want to play it for yourself, but if you want to just watch someone, I watched Pezzy play it. He streamed it on Twitch and then he made the video on YouTube. And oh god, so good. Definitely bring your tissue box. Because if you're anything, you know, I like good stories, but they always affect me so vividly. So I'm just constantly crying, like, all the time. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this guy or this guy. I should have looked that up. That are based off of real life stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's very well done. I think, it's called Letters of Thorn. And, whew. Yeah. Only reason I bring it up is because this character that I'm drawing for Art Fight is, so this creature is supposed to represent this guy's, like, nightmares of war. So it's this large, imposing creature that's clearly being tortured, but is also very gentle. And doesn't mean any harm. So I just had to draw them giving each other a hug. So I am on the wrong layer for this kind of nonsense. Yeah, this OC is of a, I don't know if friend, a viewer, a follower of mine, Lieutenant Burning Bugs. Or Burning Bug, I'm not sure. I know they changed their name, so. Just a little bit of hair texture around the paw. Okay, I'm gonna save and then, hopefully without anything going wrong, I'm gonna check Art Fight real fast so I can't see y'all. So I can relook at the, profile, just so I can verify that this is who I am supposed to be drawing. Okay, his name is so it is that guy. Okay. Okay, so I drew the hair. I drew too much hair. As per flipping usual. So it's supposed to be this dude, not that dude. I'm just not used to drawing people with like military haircuts, despite having a story about people in the military. I purposefully didn't give them the military haircut because I like putting hair on people. Okay, okay. There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. I drew all that on the wrong layer. It's okay. I know how to fix this. I know how to fix it. I know how to fix this. It's a simple fix. It's easy. We can do this. Okay, fixed. Doesn't stop me from getting angry every time it happens. Okay, actually, let's think about this logically, shall we? Since he's turned this way, we'd only be seeing, like... But then that would mean if he turned... no, we'd be seeing, like... How do human heads work? This is why I mostly draw cats. Cats and furries, man. I know how to draw those. To hold her, drop down spares on the floor, holding all of her letters from war. And despite having ears my entire life, I still have no idea how to flipping draw them half the time. Well, if we just draw them, you know, if I just use the smaller line art pen and like use minimal detail and then just didn't mention it to anybody, and if nobody points it out, then we're in the clear. You know, let's bring the monster. There we go. There we go. No, you don't even see it anymore. Don't even notice it. Notice what? Hello? Big fuzzy. Alright, now my technique idea. Copy, paste. Slightly off. And then... And then we schmooze it. To add that dreamy nightmare effect I was talking about earlier. I just move that. There we go. That looks better. Candy hearts and paper flowers. And I don't know that whole song. It's driving me crazy because yesterday that's all of the song I could remember. It was just candy hearts and paper flowers. What was the rest of the song? I don't even remember. I didn't even watch that movie. I watched someone else watch that movie. Alright, Fibonacci. The one downside of streaming my art fight experience is that I lock in a little too much when I'm doing character art or illustrations. And I love entering the flow state of an illustration, but I do realize streaming wise it's not very entertaining. Okay, now I'm gonna put this on the similar layer. Coloring wise, I see. We do have specific colors for Dabab. But a part of me kind of wants to make them grayscale. And then only put the color on him because he's real and this is a dream creature. But then there's no reference in the, there's no reference in their profile that they look ghostly or anything like that. It's just what they are. But maybe there is, but I didn't see it. So I'm just gonna render these. I'm just gonna color them normally, and then when I render them, then I can decide whether or not a lot of the color shows through. Ooh, what I could... Ooh, idea. Texture brush. I am an artist. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't you mess with me. I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. Bring me those contracts. Don't you mess with me. I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts. Come on now, bring them to the king. And it's funny, normally when I'm streaming and working on my comic, I'm a chatterbox. But I tend to take art fight very seriously, which is probably why I get so burnt out easily on it, because I'm just, ah, it needs to be, each attack needs to have my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears put into it. But then and later in the month, I'm like, here's a chibi bust, I guess. And I feel bad, because then that person didn't deserve, like, a half-assed piece. Like, come on now. But it's all I had the energy for. Honestly, this year for Art Fight, I really wanted to focus more on the streaming aspect of it, which is why my schedule is so packed of, streaming almost every day. Because every other year I focus on the like actual attack and revenge aspect of it, which is fun, but then streaming wise, it's like nothing happens. Like I'll maybe get, like, last year I did 4 art fight streams that are still, I did more, but for some reason the second stream of that just disappeared. So I don't know what the fuck happened with that. Yeah, I wanted to focus more on streaming art fight rather than just participating, because I got that down. I got the participation trophies. Oh, that's fine. Too lively. There we go. Can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contrasts. Come on. Bring them to the pain. It's been so long since I've heard that song. I'm surprised I still remember any of it. I'm only this much upset that King Dice game versus show was so different, but then again, the version we got in the show was still funny. And I thought the Cuphead show was fun. I enjoyed some of that. I only say some because there's probably an episode or two where I'm like, alright, yeah, that was kind of mid. But man, the Ghosts Ain't Real song, that took over my brain chemistry when I first heard it. Okay, this layer is going to be for the solid colors. Which is like 1 or 2 things. Alright. Line this bit. And then you just hide the line art and fill her in. Oh, and this thing. I just realized this cold, steely gray color kind of looks like the dead eyes of a corpse. So in keeping that, I don't know if that's what the intent for this design was, but I'm gonna roll with it because I think that's pretty on theme. So if I take this and then like no. Whoa, baby. You gonna make me cry. Doggo hurt. It's not real, actually a doggo, but you know, it looks like doggo. How dare anybody bring hurt to doggo? There we go. Texture is one of my favorite parts of doing any sort of illustration. But it's also so easy to mess up, man. If you get the wrong type of texture, it can ruin an entire... Like, it can ruin the mood of an entire art piece if the texture is the vibes. If the vibes are off... Something not right here. I actually didn't need to save all that, I just needed the paw. Okay. And then the paw is dark all the way through with chungus bear claws that I've not done a very good service of. I'm sorry if you hear the gunfire and violence in the background. My family are watching TV. Oh, it does have a little bit. Okay, okay, okay. It's got a goes down a little bit further than. Hi. Is it kitty break time? Hmm? Is it kitty break time? Must we break for kitty? Yeah, alright, alright. We'll break for kitty. We'll break for kitty. She's usually not this cuddly. I don't know. Sometimes she has her moments. She's burring up a storm, man. Little motorcycle. Yeah, for the rest of the stream now, I'm gonna have cat hair up my nose. Yep. Usually this means you want something, huh? But it seems like, no, you just want snuggles. Did you have a bad dream? Is that why you're being so cuddly suddenly? All of a sudden, you were sleeping. She also tried to sleep on my bed today, but it's usually because I don't sleep at that, like, because I'm trying to change my sleep schedule, and she recognizes when I'm off schedule, so she's like, hold on, what's going on here, mate? Are you sick? So she was checking up on me. So cute. Oh, sorry. Is there something in your ear? I can't see anything from this angle. I'm sorry. Do you demand attention? Hmm. Sorry, Burning Bud. Your revenge isn't gonna be done for another 20 minutes. I didn't hear her yelling earlier, so maybe, I don't know, maybe she just had a flight of fancy and now she wants snuggles. As long as you don't sleep on the desk, okay? I still need to get to work, okay? I am live streaming. But you never cared about that, did you? Huh. Oh, please don't knead on my... Thank you. So, I guess I could talk about literally anything else right now. I might switch out my chair because I've noticed like every other hour or so, like one chair starts to become uncomfortable, especially if I'm like sitting. Because when I'm not streaming, I don't actually realize how much I'm wiggling all over the place when I'm like at my desk and not streaming. Like sometimes I'll just get up and go do something else for a bit and then come back, or I'm like listening to something and then I'll stand up and just listen to it or just pace around. But when I'm streaming, I'm planted, just plopped. So my butt starts to hurt a lot more than on a regular day. So I might actually, while we're having this intermission, I'm gonna switch chairs. Oh. No, that's okay, huh? Hey, don't mind the grippers, yo. Alright. New chair activated. Oh, that's what you want. Huh. I think she's less invasively trying to tell me that she's out of food. So I'm gonna feed the cat and then I'll be right back. Alright. New chair activated. Cat is fed. Thoroughly snuggled. Camera is whack. Because this chair is taller, I actually have to be more mindful. More mindful. There we go. Like nothing happened. I'm gonna use the Sumi pen for this one. I don't know why. Yeah, it's funny. There's a lot of times where I like see other people's streams and then I remember what it was like to have a PNG tuber, and I'm like, man, that was fun. I wish I could bring that back, and you know, that'd just be really fun. Is that way I wouldn't have to worry about how I looked, and then people wouldn't be. I'd feel less self-conscious about people staring at me. Why don't I switch back to a PNG tuber? And then I remembered all the problems I had being a VTuber, as design wise, and we wouldn't, if I was a PNG tuber, we wouldn't have those little moments of cat. Oh, I've got cat hair and dust all over my desk. Le creature. I feel like there's something missing on the face, but I can't for the life of me. I forgot the nails. Alright, hang on. Let's go back and do that. There we go. Oh, I should have really zoomed in. God dang it. There we go. That's what was missing. Well, like, in the muzzle area, I swear, there's something missing in the muzzle area, and I'm not... I'm just... Ah! There we go. Okay, I'm gonna add... This is my own creative poetic license. I'm gonna add just a little bit of white around the muzzle and eyes. That's usually where the markings are. And then I'm going to... just a little bit of red under the eye. There we go. There. Okay, colors-wise, bro is done. Now for human-wise... Damn. Alright, there we go. Okay, I'm not noticing any stray pixels now, but I know as soon as I start rendering, because they're, oh my god, their skin color is so similar. But as soon as I start rendering, it's going to drive me crazy. Because then I'll notice it, I'm just... My god! Okay, bro just has straight black hair, and that's not usually a problem, but when it comes to, like, coloring and rendering, no character is just straight up. It's just straight up black, because that just gets in the way of... Wait. The rendering. So... Pardon. Just to add some, texture and definition. I know this looks like I've just overstepped, but bear with me. Walk with me. Hold my hand. You see? It works. It just works. Hello? Oh, she's up on top of the other computer. Hang on. Hey, Hawk. You having fun up there? Goober cat. Oh, sorry. Oh, that was the wrong one. Alright, I'm gonna add... not quite in his ref, but I'm just gonna add some color into him. Especially if I want to imply that he'd been crying or injured. Now, I know this looks like a lot, but like I said, bear with me. Oh, and that just revealed a stray pixel. Look at that. There we go. Now, I know that doesn't look like much, but if I turn it off, you see, he just blends right into the fur. But with it on, it's like, oh yeah, there's some flesh to that guy. Is that the same color? It's the exact same color. That's why I was bugging. Dang. You'll be okay. Okay, that added some differentiation between his shirt and the beast. And since they are on different layers, I can, once I start rendering, it'll really stand out. We are almost ready. I think we might just be doing this for the whole stream, which is fine. Let's see. I don't have any other, revenges sketched. I got plenty of attacks sketched, but I want to prioritize revenge. Phew, that's something I'll have to do off stream. Because I hate sketching on stream, man. Then you'll be okay. I don't want it to be too dark, so... And I'm not sure what the background is going to be. Probably here. Let's make it purple. And then we'll do a warm light. Let's do a circular gradient. I used to think that I was bold. I used to think love could be fun. Now all my stories have been told, except for one. You know what? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do for now. From now on, every art fight attack in either the public or the private part of the attack, I'm going to talk about my creative process for the piece and like what I was thinking or like intending with the art. I'm gonna put slightly cooler, but then also with a tint of warmth there. There we go. You know? Is this what we doing? Soften the line art just a bit. Soften the edges. Just making things look less stark in contrast with each other. There we go. Now, is this what I am okay with? Wait, hang on, let me... Schmurge, there we go. Did I want rim lighting involved? I had planned for rim lighting, but I'm not sure if I like that anymore. Let's see. No, I think it adds too much. What I will do, though... is... because I just thought of it, and because I'm a sap... There we go. I think I'll call this piece... I'm not sure, actually. I would love to say of monsters and men. But I think so far I'm pretty happy with the way that looks as of right now. I might come back later and just, you know, futz with it. Okay, I'm looking at it in this small navigator window. This area is too dark, so what's up? Oh, that actually helped a lot. Still really dark. And I think it's this part, so let's just... There we go. Okay, yeah, that softened that area a little bit more. Because I want this to be the focus. Ooh, what if... Oh, hang on. There. That did very little, but if I took it away, it's very noticeable. I think I might call this... No, that... Ooh, I had an idea for a title, but it doesn't fit for this piece. It would work for another piece, though. Ooh, I had an idea. It would be called Where Men Become Boys. And it's him on the battlefield. Just because, man, war is worse than hell. Because there's no innocent people in hell. You know, that's from MASH. Well, that's one revenge done. Mostly. Mostly done. $8 o'clock. I need to get up at 7. I got other things I want to do off stream. I don't have any sketches ready. So, I am going to end it here. Because we're coming up on 2 hours. And I said, as long as the stream is an hour minimum, and I get at least one attack done, it's a 6. I need to take a shower. That's what I need to do. So, and I don't like going to bed with wet hair. So, I'm going to end it here so I can go take care of that and some other things away from Stram. Thank you all so much for watching, whether you watch live or after the fact. Either way, I love you. Gonna be streaming Art Fight on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Whether I'll have mic on or off, it depends on the mood, especially next week, man. Next week is gonna be bad. And I also stream on Twitch, and that's gonna be Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. If you want to check out what the heck it is I'm doing, it's all linked in the description. And I will see y'all later, and farewell. You know, if I just wait 2 minutes, I could hit 2 hours and I could end stream on the dot. Nah, I don't feel like doing that.